Shalom, welcome to Hebrew with Mayim. In this video, we are going to be learning the first Torah portion for the book of Exodus. And the book of Exodus in Hebrew is called Shemot. And this is also the name of the Torah portion. Shemot means names. It's a plural form of the word for name, Shemot. And it's found in Exodus chapter 1, verse 1 through chapter 6, verse 1. So Shem is a name, and Hashem means the name. Shemot, of course, is names, plural. Okay, so Shem is name, Hashem is the name, and when we say Hashem, we're usually referring to the name of the Creator, Yod He Vav He, Hashem. Shem Tov means a good name or a good reputation, and Shem Ra means a bad name or a bad reputation. So Tov means good, Ra means bad or evil. And Shem, of course, is name. Baruch Hashem is a common phrase that is said when someone is happy about something, and it means blessed is the name. It's a common praise to God. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Blessed, Baruch Hashem, the name. Blessed is the name. L'shem Shemaim, literally for the name of heaven, or for the sake of heaven. L'shem Shemaim. L'shem is for the sake, for the sake, or for the name, and Shemaim is heaven. Asa lo Shem, Asa lo Shem, which means made a name for himself. Asa is he made, lo is for himself, and Shem is a name. And it means to establish a reputation, so to speak. Okay, now let's get into the verse. The first verse in English reads, Exodus chapter 1, verse 1, and these are the names of the sons of Israel who came to Egypt with Jacob. Each man and his household came. Okay, and that starts off with this word right here. This is a vav with a sheva which says v. So this is an aleph with a tzere which says e, and this revi'i means that this is where the accent mark goes. Okay, so it's this aleph with a tzere says e, so ve'e, this is the accent of the word, and this is a lamed with a segol and a hey which says le. Ve'ele, ve'ele, which means, and these are, ele is these, okay? And these are ve'ele, Shemot, we already pronounced that, it's the name of our Torah portion, Shemot, this is a mem, with this is a shin, with a sheva, which says she, this is a mem, and this vav with a cholem says o, and this is a tav, so together it's also a mot, Shemot, and this is the accent or trope mark here, this pashta, so we know that the accent of the words on the last syllable, Shemot. These are the names. Shemot means names. Okay, there's an implied the because it's talking about something specific. Okay, these aren't just random names. These are going to be the names. Okay, next we have hey and a patak which says ha. This means the. This prefix means the. And then we have a bet with a kamatz right here, which says ba. And then we have an aleph with a hirik, which says e, along with this yud, and then the mem sofit. Together we'll say im, habaim. And so this is the trope mark or accent mark. It's a tipcha, and so we know that the accent of this word is on the last syllable. So habaim. And this means those who came, okay? Ha is the, but we'll translate it as those, or we could say the ones who came. So ha ba'im. The im part makes it plural. We know there's more than one person. And the ba is come or came. So haba'im is those who came. Okay, so next letter, this is a mem with a hirik. Okay, this says me, and this is a tsadi. So together that will say meets. And this shava right here, usually the shava in the middle of a word is not pronounced, usually, not always, but there are exceptions, but usually the shava in the middle of a word is not pronounced. So we're just going to say meets right here. Meets, and then we have a resh with a kamatz, and that this is going to say ra. So meets ra, and this isn't et nachta. This is going to give the accent mark for the word, okay? And this is a yud, and this yud will actually go with this, okay? This is mitzray, okay? And this shava is not going to be sounded, but okay, mitzray, and this is a mem with a kamatz, and the hey will be ma. Now, so it's mitzrayma, and because the accent is on rai right here, this is where we'll have the emphasis of the word mitzrayma. And Mitzrayim is Egypt, but Mitzrayma means to Egypt. Okay, this ending at the end means to is where the to comes from, to Egypt. So this is an aleph with a tsere, and this is a tav. So this is just going to say et, and this is a direct object pointer, but it sometimes means with. Okay, sometimes there's no translation for this word in English, but sometimes there is. In this case, there is. It means with in this context. Okay, so we have et right here, and then this word is a yud with a patak which says ya, and this vertical line here gives a secondary accent mark. This is the main accent mark right here above the kuf, but this vertical line is the second one. So this is ya. And this is an ayin with a chatef patak, a reduced patak, so it says a, and then a kuf with this holem, which says o, and then the vet together will say kov, Yaakov. And this will, of course, give the main accent mark for this word. So et Yaakov, with Jacob. Okay, so this is an aleph, this is a chirik, and this yud is just part of this. So this is e, and this is a shin, of course. So this is ish, okay? The chirik says e. So this is ish, and there's only one syllable. So this is the accent mark, but there's only one syllable. And then this is, okay, this means man. This word means man, okay? And then this is a vav with a dot in the middle. It says u, okay, u. And the vav in the beginning of a word usually means and, okay? So and, but because there's this vet here, instead of saying v, we're going to pronounce the vav as u. And actually, historically, this is the way that it was pronounced, u. The vav was historically pronounced u always, not a v sound. But anyways, okay, so this is a vet, so this is u, and then this is a vet with a tsere, and this yud together will say ve, u ve, a tav with a vav and a cholam on top which says o. This says o. So u ve, oh, excuse me, u ve to. Okay, so I already said that this means and, okay? These words, these letters, bet yud tav, spell house, okay? If it were alone, it would say bait, but it spells house. This means house. And the suffix at the end, the o, means his, okay? So this word means and his house, okay? So every man, there's an implied every man. Every man. You can also say each man. And his house, this last word, this is a bet with a kamatz, and this says ba. Sorry, I didn't say that in this word, we know that the accent is on to because of this right here. This is an accent mark and a trope mark. So uveto. So we have to make sure that we don't say uveto, but we say uveto. And this is a bet with a kamatz, which says ba, and this aleph will be silent and will say just u right here. So this is ba u. This is the end. This is like a period. This signifies the end of a verse. This colon looking symbol right here. And And because this always has to be at the end of the word, if the accent mark of the word it needs to be somewhere else, it will be signified by this vertical line when it's the last word of the sentence. Okay, so this is where the accent mark is for this word ba'u. It's not ba'u, it's ba'u. Okay, and this means who came. Okay, literally it's they came, but in context it's who came. So every man and his house who came. In Biblical Hebrew, when there's an aleph that follows a letter that has its own vowel, so this letter, bet, has its own vowel, this kamatz, this right? We don't want to slur these together. We don't want to say ba'u, we want to say ba'u. There should be a distinct pause between the two syllables, ba'u, not ba'u. They should not flow together, the two syllables. They should be distinct, ba'u. So even though we say aleph is silent, there is kind of a sound. The sound is a separation. It's a slight pause. It's like when you say in English the word uh-oh, there's a pause between and oh, uh-oh. We don't say oh, we say uh-oh to make the two syllables distinct. So same thing with Hebrew here. We say ba'u, ba'u. And you also find it in the word Israel. In Hebrew, it's Yisrael, Yisrael. It's almost as if it's two separate words, Yisra and El, Yisrael. Even though in English, we kind of slur it together. We say Israel, right? But in Hebrew, it's Yisrael. Now we'll just go ahead and read the whole verse, okay? So this is ve'ele, and these are Shemot, the names of Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel, Habaim, those who came, Mitzrayma, to Egypt, Et Yaakov, with Jacob, Ish, each man, Uveto, and his house, Ba'u, who came. Now, we have right here with Yaakov, we have that same thing that I was telling you with Ba'u. You know how there should be a separation between Ba and U, Ba'u. We have the same thing here with Yaakov. This ayin, we say it's a silent letter, but if it follows a letter that has its own vowel, we're going to separate the sounds also here. So Yaakov, Yaakov. And here too, Yisrael, Yisrael. And even here, actually, Habaim. It's not Habaim, but Habaim. Okay? And here also, ve'ele, ve'ele. It's not ve'ele. We don't slur it together. We have Exodus chapter 1, verse 2 through 4. There's now going to be 3 verses. Each line is a verse. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Issachar, actually in English it should just be Issachar. Zebulun and Benjamin. Dan and Naphtali. Gad and Asher. Okay, so that's how we say it in English. Now let's learn the Hebrew. Okay, so this is a resh with a shiva, so we're going to say re. This aleph is going to be silent, re. So this is an u, this vav with a dot through it says u. And this is a vet with a tsere and the nun together will say ven. And this right here is a munach. This is the trope and accent mark. So we know it's reuven, reuven, instead of Reuben in English. In English, I guess usually default is the accent mark is on the first syllable. In Hebrew, the default is the accent mark is on the last syllable. However, there's exceptions. I guess in both languages there's exceptions. So English is Reuben, Hebrew is Reuven, right? This is a shin with a chirik. So this is she, and this is a mem. We're going to say this together. This shiva is going to be silent, okay? This is shim, and this is an ayin, and it's going to be silent, and we're just gonna sound this vav with the cholem, which says o, and this nun sofit, so it's on. And since this is a silent vowel, since this is a silent letter, we're going to do that separation thing again. So we're not going to say Shimon, we're going to say Shimon, okay? And then the accent, this is the accent, it's a katon, and this is Shimon. So this is Shimon, and the accent is on the last syllable. with the first name, of course, we say Levi in English. And the sere, I noticed that you said le.
Yeah.
And and I know that's how it's usually taught, that sere is le, but in let's say in Israel, they don't really emphasize the a. You would just say le. Okay, almost the same as Segol. You might just hold it a little bit longer. So it's le, and this is that's the lamed with the tzere right here, and this is a vav with a hirik, and the yud together will say v, levi, and the accent is on the last syllable, so it's levi. Okay, this is the accent mark, levi, instead of Levi in English. Now, and you said I think you said Yehuda, and that's correct. But this word isn't just Yehuda; it's and Judah. So this is actually a vav with a hirik, and the yud together would be v, and then this is a hu, a hey with a vav and a dot through it is hu, and this is a dalid with a kamatz. This is the accent mark right here, and then a hey. Okay, so vihuda. But yes, without the vav, which means and, it would be Yehuda. And of course, the accent mark is on da. This is the accent right here. Instead of Judah, it's Yehuda. But yes, this word is.
Yeah, I was taught it was a sound. That's why I said that. Yes.
Which one?
The for Levi, I was taught that
it's a.
Yeah, that was an a sound.
Yeah, and I was too when I first started learning Hebrew. But when I got a Hebrew teacher that was actually in Israel, he said, "You know what? That's something that Americans do. That's not very. It's not really done in Israel when they read that." So this is V. The name by itself would be Yehuda with the accent on da, but because we have the vav here, it's V. It's Vihuda. Okay, Vihuda. It means and Judah. This yud with a hirik says ye. Okay, this is a sin, and the reason why this dot is here is it means that you're going to this indicates a doubling of this letter, and so you hold it a little bit. So instead of Yisachar, it's Yisachar. Yisachar. So it's a bit redundant that it both has this dagesh and also has a double sin. But this is basically because a real kosher Torah will not have any dots and vowels and stuff like that. The way it's pronounced is Yisachar. So you kind of just hold it a little bit. Okay, this sound. So Yisachar, and the accent is on cha right here. And of course, this is a kamat, which is a. Yisachar, and this is a zayin with a shaba says ze, and this is a vet with a u sound, vu, zevu, and this is a lamed with another u sound right here. This kibbutz says u, and then nun sofit which says lun, and the accent is on lun. Oops, the accent is on lun, which is the last syllable. So zevulun, okay, and then this is a vav which says u again. Usually before bet or vet, the vav says u instead of va. So u, and this is with a hirik, the vet says v, u v, and this nun right here, this shava is silent. So this nun is going to be part of this vet, so it's going to be vin, uvin, uvin, and this yud with a kamat says ya, and this mem with a hirik and the nun all together will say min, and this is the accent mark on min. Okay, uvin yamin, and again this is like a period. Okay, uvin yamin. Good, and again we see that the accent marks in English, it's Issachar instead of Yisachar. And in English, it's Zebulun, accent on the first syllable. But in Hebrew, it's Zevulun, accent on the last syllable. And also with Benjamin, accent on the first syllable. But in Hebrew, it's Binyamin with accent on the last syllable. Binyamin. Okay, so we have a Dalid and a Kamatz. And then this nun sofit will close it out as dan, right? Dan. And then we have a vav with a shava which will say vi. which means and. And this is a nun with a patach, and then a fe. This shiva is going to be silent. So this is naf. And we know it's a fe instead of pe because pe has a pimple and fe has a clear face. So venaf, and this is a tav with a kamat which says ta, and a lamed with a chirik and the yud together, which will say li. And this is the accent mark on li. So the accent is on venaftali, the last syllable, venaftali. Okay, so this is a gimel with a kamatz and the dalet together, we say gad. And then this is a vav, which says ve, and an aleph, and a kamatz says a, ve'a. And this is a shin with its sere and a resh here, which is sher. Now we'll read all of the names. So we have Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda. That's Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Yisachar, Zevulun, Uvinyamin, which is Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin. Dan veNaftali, Gad veAsher, which is Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. Now I'm going to teach you. I'm not sure if you were interested in this, but this is usually where I teach how to trope the verse, okay? So when one reads the Torah from the Bima, the actual Torah scroll, on Shabbat, one is supposed to do it with the proper cantillation, the proper melody. And I know an Ashkenazi melody, a specific one. There's so many different ones. I know a specific Ashkenazi one that I think is very beautiful, okay? And so I'm going to, with the first verse, actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it with the first verse. I'm only going to do it with the names, just for the sake of time. Okay, so this is a munach. Munach, this is the first of all, I'm going to point out all of the trope marks in this verse, okay? Remember, they serve also as the accent marks for the words. So this is, and I'm gonna sing the melody that they make, okay? So this is Munach katon tipcha sof pasuk. And sof pasuk means the end of the verse, okay? Sof pasuk. Now, so these trope marks also act as punctuation or and grammar, and some of them are serve as pauses, and some of them serve as connectors, or you could also say kings and servants, or servants and kings and okay, I forgot. But master and servant is one one way it's called. Because so this is a master right here, and this is also a master. These are the two pauses in here, and they also serve as you could put here would definitely be, well, it's usually translated as a comma. As a period. But I think right here, because we're just listing a bunch of names, we would just put a comma. You are supposed to pause a little bit after the masters. So this is one phrase, and then this is one phrase. And when you're reading from the Torah, you're not supposed to breathe between a connector. This is a connector, and this. So you could breathe here, for example. Okay, so it might be a little bit more than you need to know for right now. It's probably just an introduction for you. But okay, so this is Munak. So this is Reuven. Okay, and this is Katon. So this is Shimon, and this is Tipcha. So Levi is Levi, and this is Sof Pasuk. So this is Yehuda. So you would read this verse as Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda. So this is a mircha. This is a connector. This is a tipcha. This is a soft separator. It's not a master though. So this is a clause. This is just one clause. Here we have two clauses. We have this word pair and this word pair. Here we just have one clause. There's no masters except for this one. Okay. So this is mercha tipcha sof pasuk. So Yisachar is mercha. So this is Yisachar. And Zevulun is tipcha. So this is Zevulun. And this is sof pasuk. So Uvinyamin is Uvinyamin. So altogether this is Yisachar, Zevulun, Uvinyamin. Okay, and then we have Mercha Tipcha, same as up here. Mercha Sof Pasuk. So this is Dan has Mercha, so it's just Dan. And Venaftali has Tipcha, so this is Venaftali. And God has Mercha, so this is God. And this is Ve'asher has Sof Pasuk, so this is Ve'asher. Okay, so Dan Ve'naftali, God Ve'asher. Okay, now just for fun, because we're learning the names of the 12 tribes, I'd like to teach you also, and I don't normally do this, but because we're learning the names of the 12 tribes, I thought it'd be really interesting to learn how they were pronounced anciently, because what we all probably have learned first is the more modern Biblical Hebrew. But there's a difference between modern and ancient Biblical Hebrew, okay? So Resh is almost the same. Okay, I'm gonna stick on emphasizing letters that are more drastically different than not. Okay, so Reuven is pretty much the same. Okay, Reuven. Let me see. Now I want Shimon is a little bit different in ancient Biblical Hebrew. The ayin is not just silent; it's actually guttural. And it's like a Klingon sound from Star Trek. So it's on, okay? Shimon, okay? So that's the ayin. It's ayin. It's a little bit guttural. Shimon. Okay, you know how like chaf is in your throat? You feel it? Same thing with this ayin. Shimon. And also anciently, the vav was a wow. So it was pronounced like a W or a U. So this would be, instead of Levi, it would be Lewi. Okay. It was also sometimes an O, but it was never a V sound anciently. So this is Lewi. So this would be we, who, and the Daled, if you notice, sometimes the Daled has a dot in it, like this right here, right? So this dot, when the Dalet has a dot, it's supposed to be pronounced like a D, like a D. Without the dot, it's actually pronounced like a th, like a TH, like as in they. This would be the, okay, the. But there's another difference besides the Dalet, which is the kamatz. The kamatz was not an ah. Today we're taught that the kamatz and the patach, this right here, are both pronounced as ah, but that's actually not anciently true. Before, the kamatz was an ah sound, as in like AW, like ah. So this would be we who tho, okay? This is Reuven, this is Shimon, Lewi, and we who tho. Very good. And if you want to learn more about this specific topic, ancient Biblical Hebrew, there's a rabbi. I forgot his name, but his YouTube channel is Machon Shilo, Machon, and then Shilo. And he usually, when he reads Hebrew, he pronounces it the ancient Biblical way.
Oh, because I watch him sometimes. Sometimes I didn't get what he was saying. That's
Ah,
why.
this is why, because he does it the ancient.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
really into restoring ancient biblical Hebrew. And even though I mean you might not commonly use it in Israel, or even when people go up to read the Torah, it's usually not used this way. But when you at least know these differences, it's gonna help you a lot, because there's some words that let's for example, im, which means um sorry, with, there's with, and then there's if, right? And one of them is spelled with an ayin, it's actually im, and the other one is means with. Okay, so it's really im. And if you know the difference between them, then you can more easily tell what it means. And so there's a lot of instances like that. And also, the word kol, I don't know if you know the word kol, like kol
yeah.
Yisrael.
Oh,
Yeah, it has a kamatz under the kaf, but people never say kal. They never say kal.
yes.
They always say kol Yisrael, because for that specific word and others, like Naomi, they don't say Naami, they say Naomi. They have preserved in certain words, not most, but in certain words, they have preserved. We have preserved the ancient sound. Now, the Yemenite Jews, the Temanim, still pronounce it very close to ancient biblical Hebrew, so they will pronounce it this way that I'm talking about right now. But besides them, it's not very common. Oh, and of course, the rabbi from Machon Shiloh. I wish I remembered his name. Oh, anyways, okay. Next one right here. Okay, now the sin, as I told you before, when it has this dagesh, you're supposed to hold it. That's another ancient biblical Hebrew or Yemenite way. Okay, so this would be yisohor. Okay, yisohor, and okay, that's the only difference there. Yisohor instead of Yisachar, right? Yisohor. Okay, and then let me see. This is the same. This is going to be the same. Zevulun. Okay, this is going to have the o sound with instead of ya, it's yo. So uvin yomin. And this is dawn instead of dan, it's dawn, almost like dawn, right? Okay, so like the rising of the dawn or something like that. Dawn. This is, so remember the vav would just be w, so it's w instead of v, and this is going to be to instead of ta, so wenaftoli, wenaftoli. And that's another thing that's kind of nice, because we're normally taught that the kamatz and the patach have the same exact sound, and so you might think, why would there be two vowels for exactly the same time, same sound? And it's because anciently they really had two different pronunciations. So it just makes more sense, when you know this. People who don't know this, they don't know why there's two. They just say, oh, that's just how it is. But now you actually know the reason why. So wenaftoli. Now, did I tell you that? So tav also. I don't think we have an example here, but tav without this dot, without this dagesh, it would be thav, or thou actually. Instead of tau, it would be thou. Okay. So instead of, if this did not have the dot in it, it would be wenaf tholi. But because it does, we're saying wenaf tholi. Okay. All right. And this is okay. Now remember, this dalid without the dot, it's actually th. So it's, and this is a kamat that says ah. So this would be goth. Okay. And we don't have an example of it here, but without the dot in the gimel, it would not be gimel, but rimel. Okay. Gimel. But since it has the dot, we're going to still say gimel. So it'll be goth. Gov. And then this is we, and this is o instead of a. We o, and this is sher. We o sher. I'd like to invite you to visit my website at www.hebrewmime.com. That's HEBREWMAYIM.com. And you can click on the button to sign up for free lessons, free Hebrew lessons, to your email, delivered every week or so. Sometimes I miss a week. Sometimes I'll send more than one email for that week. So again, just visit my website, HebrewMime.com. And I also have special sections here. Not only can you sign up for free Hebrew lessons to your email, but you can also get my playlist to learn the Aleph Bet, even Aleph Bet with Elmo. And I also have a section on learning various Jewish prayers and blessings. I also have you can see all of the Hebrew lessons from Genesis to Deuteronomy. And what else? Oh, I have a section on ancient Hebrew, learn how to pronounce the Hebrew letters in the ancient Hebrew pronunciation, the ancient Hebrew tongue. I have some lessons on how to trope or chant the Torah, specifically lessons for that. And then I also have links to if you're interested in getting more formal biblical Hebrew lessons or modern Hebrew lessons from a good friend in Israel. So you can check that out as well. So just visit my website at HebrewMime.com. Shalom. Would you like to become the healer of your home and your community and create a profitable online health coaching business? Are you interested in becoming a health coach, a naturopath, an herbalist, or a nutritionist? Do you need help finding the right program for studying holistic health and healing? Or perhaps you already have certification, but you're still not confident enough in healing people and don't know how to build a business that will empower you to have an impact and allow you to leave your regular day job. Are you ready to get a deep and comprehensive picture of holistic health and healing and learn from top healers in our day so that you can stop being stuck in a job or a career you don't have a passion for? Heal yourself and others without the need for pharmaceutical drugs with harmful side effects, doctors, or even dentists. Become more knowledgeable about holistic health and healing than most medical doctors who have graduated from medical school without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of time in expensive medical schools or programs. Build a health coaching business that will allow you to work from home and achieve time, location, and financial freedom. Aruka.com empowers people to become the healers of their home and their community by equipping them with naturopathic herbalism, health coaching, and online business and marketing skills. My name is Maim. I'm 42 years old and a homeschool mom of 7 beautiful children. These 2 in the photo are my October babies. I became a naturopathic herbalist and health coach in order to take charge of my family's health when the modern medical system kept failing us. We were spending thousands of dollars on insurance and other medical expenses, but they did not have any answers for our health problems. Working from home has been such a blessing for us. I used to work at the NASA Ames Research Center as a computer scientist/engineer. But being able to have an online business has enabled me to surpass my income at NASA and to be there for my family, homeschool them, take care of them, watch them grow up every step of the way for 18 years now. I started Aruka.com in 2009 to help people become healthy and heal themselves. I've coached all sorts of people, and eventually even medical doctors and nurses started coming to me repeatedly for help, for various health issues for themselves or their loved ones. I help people heal themselves of serious diseases such as cancer, heart disease, and high blood pressure, diabetes, as well as other common issues such as hormone imbalances, abnormal bleeding, migraines, eczema, kidney stones, gallstones, cataracts, and even urinary tract infection. Various people began asking me to start teaching what I know about holistic health and healing, including 2 medical doctors who have become very good friends of mine. When I realized that there was such a demand for the knowledge I have, that even medical doctors were telling me to teach, I shifted the focus of Aruka.com, and now we teach people how to become confident healers through our naturopathic herbalist and health coach certification program. We help people become healers of their home and community and create profitable online health coaching businesses. If you're interested in becoming a holistic healer, please visit our website, aruka.com, ARUKAH.com. Again, that's ARUKAH.com. Hope to see you there.